Hi, this is PD at BurgZerg Arcade at BurgZergArcade.com, and this is tutorial 243, Part S. Now, in our last little set of tutorials, we went over the mob spawning, and this one here, we're actually going to start with the item system. And actually, to be honest, if you really want to work ahead, the last time we revisited the actual items in the item system, our tutorials 228 to 234. So if you want a little bit more of an in-depth explanation of what's going on, go ahead and look at those, since those were the last 6 we did. Let's go ahead and just start from the beginning on our tutorial system. The implementation anyway. So to start off with, I'm going to start with chests, putting a chest down in the scene. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my chest object here. I'm just going to drop it into my scene. And let's just take a quick look at it. It has 2 animations. One for open and one for close. By default it has open. I'm actually going to turn that off. And that's the only component attached to it right now. One thing I am going to attach is our chest script, which is right here. And it just tells me I'm losing a prefab, and that's fine. I'm going to be creating a new prefab out of this anyway. And I'm not going to go into what's on there just yet. I still want to keep looking at our chest game object, the way I have it set up. Now this is actually from the Fro Games dungeon pack, and there's quite a few things in here. I use all the items. I'm not 100% sure if I actually use the actual dungeon itself, the architecture part. I might. It does actually, fit really well with everything else in my game, but that's to be seen. Anyway, let's keep looking at the chest. It's got 2 parts, the top half and a bottom half, and you can't really see it just too well, so let's actually go ahead and move over to the actual object in game. It's absolutely huge, it looks like. I'm actually going to move this to where my player is, and I think that's around something like 530 by 1130 or something like that. I'll have to move it again probably when we get there, but I know my player spawns somewhere around there. And let's go ahead and just take a look at the parts. You have the top part, chest part A, and you have the bottom part. And the 2 animations. Let me just go make sure it's close to my character. It's pretty close. I can run that far. It's not scaled right. Go ahead and scale it. This isn't exactly an introductory to Unity, so I'm not going to go ahead and cover how to scale items. You should already know that by now. But anyway, it doesn't have a collider. Well, it does have a collider on it, but the collider's not positioned right and everything else. But anyway, let's go ahead and start exploring the components we just added to it when we added our script. This is the script we added. Now, he wants to know what the open animation name is and the close animation name is, and it's also looking for a sound. So the open animation name, right now we have it exposed as strings, but again, I would love to come back and revisit this later on when we're cleaning things out and polishing after we've done the basic prototyping and change these to actual animation clips. But for now, we just have them as strings. And my open one is just called open. And my closed one is called close. And the reason why I even have these here is because people just had different names for their open and close animations. I guess different languages that people speak, or just they named it differently. So this was an easy way in code to be able to use the exact same script without having to go through and change a bunch of stuff. Now I'm going to need an open and close sound, and these are just audio clips. And I'm also going to need a particle effect for the game when the chest opens. These actually might be optional, so I'm going to leave them blank for now and see. If not, we're going to have to go out and, well, I've got tons of particle effects in these Fro Game packs, so I'll just use one of those. But I will have to go grab some audio sounds. And we'll come down here, parts 2. And we have the top and the bottom. And let's go ahead and open it up. Part A, Part B. And to be honest, I'm not sure exactly why we have the parts here. I don't really recall why. When we look at the script again, after done the prototyping, we come through and we start cleaning things up. There'll probably be something that's disappearing. But let's go ahead and actually start it up. Not yet. Let's look at the box collider. Let's make the box collider just slightly bigger than the actual box itself. So the center, let me see. We'll just start moving it up. Let's go with an orthogonal view. We're going to move this back down a bit. Probably about 0.5. We're going to have to make it a bit bigger too on the Y. So about there. And we'll want to make it bigger on, that would be the Z. And like I said, you want it just slightly bigger than the actual chest itself. And then on the X. Great. I'm going to jump back out of that view, go back into perspective. Right about now, I probably should make a prefab of it. And I'm going to come down to our resources folder. And it's not a mob, it's kind of a generic thing. I really should make more folders down here to keep them organized a bit better, but I'll let you do that. I'm just actually going to create the prefab. And we'll go ahead and drag that on. And let's go ahead and test it out. So it's right there. When we click on it, it should open. I'm getting a warning. It should be our camera. That's fine. Let's go ahead and click on it. Now when it opens up, it's probably going to try to generate some items, and I don't actually have the items created yet, so we'll have to go ahead and do that in the next tutorial. But let's go try this. I'm too far away. There we go. It opens up. It opens up our loot window, but it doesn't actually display. Actually, it is generating the items, but what's happening is that we don't have any of our GUI stuff put in yet, or the actual meshes and everything else, and our icons for the actual items themselves. We'll cover that in the next tutorial. But as you can see, it is actually generating the items and creating the places for us in our loot window here, but we can't actually see any of it because we don't have that implemented. But anyway, that's it for the chest. We didn't actually need a sound attached. If you do have a sound, go ahead and add it. Let me just take a quick look at it again. Audio source, I don't actually use the audio source there, but anyway, if you have an open animation, we have that. So it's right here, an open sound and a closed sound. If you have the exact same sound, just put it in both. And of course a particle effect, which I do have. Actually, I'm not going to bother adding one. If you do have one, just drag it there. If you want to see what the effect looks like, go ahead and try the online demo. I have one of the particle effects set up there, and that's actually it to setting up our chest. So in our next tutorial, we'll go ahead and start building our little hierarchy of items down here. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye-bye.